beyond what we are really learning from our prophet. We've gotten something. Let's put our hands together for God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, a recap of what she said. She analyzed so many things, telling us, reminding us again who we are and what we can achieve as champions in the right way. Some people think that the best way to get something is to, make it sharp. Anything goes. Any man goes. Any relationship goes. What you want is your money. Once it pays, that ends it. That is not applicable to the life of a champion. A champion in the walk, a child of God. She's telling us that premarital sex is evil before man and before God. Because she has also analyzed the dangers in these premarital sex activities. She has also told us that it will take away virtue from us and bring in reproach and shame. Sometimes when you indulge in this, even when you don't tell somebody, you know right in yourself that you're a failure for indulging in such activities. Sometimes we engage in this, forgetting that we are children of God. We hide under the umbrella of, he is going to marry me. At the end of the day, nothing happens. Some of us can attest to that. Some of us are victims. But thank God for this teaching this evening. At least you cannot just condemn yourself because you have already had the experience. No. The essence of this teaching is for us to now sit up, to say no to premarital sex, to stand our ground as children of God, to believe in the power of God that is working here in this ground. That whatever we want, that God has it. That we can have it without the help of man. As you know, where is she? Just like that. That is what men can do for us. They cannot just say, yeah, I love you, and you think that is all. Something is behind it. Sometimes they will hide it. They will do as if it is from their heart. It's a lie. When time comes, they will tell you, they will show you the other side of it. And at the end of the day, we start blaming ourselves. We start regretting. We start crying. Let us stand up as children of God today and abide by this teaching this gentle soul has given us today. I have gotten something. I want to tell you, I have learned a lot from it. And every child of God who practices this will see changes in his or her life. Sometimes the reason why most of us are still singles is still because of this premarital sex. Yes, when a man has, seen everything in you, done everything he's supposed to do, he has nothing again with you. He can dump you and go for another person. At the end of the day, you lose everything. The man you don't have, and the enjoyment is also over. So today, what we are going to do now is this. Some of us have had the experience, and she has given us a way out. But the most important thing now is to say no, henceforth. No, say no. Say no. Say no. Henceforth, the most important decision is to say no, and God will visit us. God will help us to stand firm on it. A man will come up now and say, I don't know any other woman, and I've assured you that I'm going to marry you. So what is your problem? And so, even if when you do it, you find out that at the end of the day, nothing happens. Yes, is it not because of this thing that she was doing, guy? Sometimes when you now call him on phone, he will not take the call. So this thing is so appalling. It's not supposed to be mentioned in the midst of the children of God. We are supposed to be exceptional, especially to those young ones among us. Let us not be victims. At least, let us just stand firm and believe that God will surely visit us. She made mention of hookup. This hookup, yet has done something. I have to tell you the truth. Obolande mad to nothing. I have so many of them around me, very, very close to me. At the end of the day, nothing shows after every runs girl and everything. So please, this time, this is a session of a question and answer. Question and answer. They are all available to answer your questions tonight. The two presenters are ready to answer your questions. So whatever question you can come up with, you can come out, say your name, and share your question. Anybody in our midst can answer it, and when it is not well answered, the presenter can answer. And when we are not convinced or comfortable with the presenter's answer, any other leaders can answer, and when they cannot do it, we can now keep it for our prophet to help us out. That is the essence of today's meeting and for this session. So do we have any question in our midst? Let's clap for her as she's coming out.
Champions, great champions. I want to ask a question. It's like a question and also like an interaction, because this is an interaction period. I just want to base on the emphasis on the application of wisdom. You know, as Sister Blessing talked about the temptation of Eve in the Old Testament, and also the temptation of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. And she gave an application of wisdom, how Eve was subdued by the temptation, but Jesus himself conquered the temptation. Then, what I'm just saying now is that as a young lady now, you know, most ladies are being terminated by unwanted pregnancy, and the worst thing that can terminate a lady's life, melt your life like you are a trash, is unwanted pregnancy. And you know, as a young lady, that your wisdom is still growing. You are still growing in wisdom. And you have a boyfriend, and he kind of telling you things that, I love you, we were going to do this because of love. And as in, he's a kind of deceiving you. But you yourself, due to your wisdom, have not reached to that extent. You might end up, you know, being conquered by the temptation. And the next thing that you are going to see is that you have gotten the pregnancy. And when you approach him and say, this is so what happened, he might deny you at the end of the day. Not only denying you, he might say, please go and abort this trash, go and abort this baby. And you'll be like, no, please, I can't abort this. You understand? You are the one that give me this. You say that you love me. Okay, I want you now to prove the love. So in the application of wisdom, the lady is not aware that the premarital sex, you know, she don't have enough knowledge. Like our sister also talked about the dangers of premarital sex. So I just want to add a little thing, a kind of wisdom, not just throwing questions to them. You understand? A kind of application of wisdom. As my sister said, in the situation of Eve, and also in the sex education, a woman ending her life career short because of a wanted pregnancy. And all is because of lack of wisdom. She is not well educated in that part. She didn't get the knowledge that if I did this thing, this is how my career is going to end. And just like play, you just terminate everything, your education, your future, and even the person that might get married to you in future might be like, this girl have wasted her life. I can't marry a harlot. You know, they don't give you that kind of name, but truly inside you are not that, but you were subjugated by lack of wisdom. All right, am I communicating? So this is a kind of little knowledge that I want to give out. It's not that I want to ask a question. You know, this is an interactive section. Thank you.
Please jam your hands for her. This is wonderful. She has just done what we call appraisal. She is adding something to what our sisters have said. She said we should apply wisdom in whatever we do and will not regret. May God bless you, our sister. Please, is there any other person? Yeah, come up. Come up. Please, may we clap as she's coming. It's not easy. Clap your hands. A round of applause to her.
Praise the Lord. Please, my name is Oguchoma, and my question is, what about people who doesn't have the mind and the strength to voice out? Because the little interaction I've had with people, I have been able to realize that some ladies do not speak out. There are people who are not finding it easy to speak out. It might not be necessarily that the person is a harlot or the person is emulating someone else. But most of the time, there are people who doesn't know what it means to say no or yes when it is necessary. So I just want to ask, how are we supposed to encourage this lady in question who cannot speak for herself, who cannot stand by her words, who doesn't have any say as a person? It's just like what our sister said, that you have to be a woman that has vision. You need to know what you want and you go for it. So I just want to ask, how can we advise this lady who cannot speak out for herself? That's my question. Thank you.
Jam your hands together for her. If we hear her clearly, she asked a question that there are some people who find it difficult to speak out, especially when they encounter such a problem that is between a man and a woman. Sometimes they cannot stand to say no, and they have no idea of what they are doing until when the result comes. And of course, we know it's going to be in a negative form. So the question she's asking is this: to those who are not well educated on sex education, just as we are doing now, and may not be able to share their ugly experiences, how do we handle such people? Please, who can answer from the floor? Who can help us? Yeah, come up. God bless you. May we clap hand for her.
Great champions. Please, one of the ways out of this is parents and guidance should help. They should start from that tender age to educate their children on self-education. Because most people fall victims because they are not aware of it. You don't wait when your children or your house help or your girl to go to the school before he or she to be educated on self-education. At least parents should help to improve this, to stop these smells. Because this is the major cause of it. I think when a female child is being educated from her tender stage, she will know the reasons, she will know how to overcome these situations. when it occurs, and she will know the way out of it. Because most of the time, parents deprive their children from earlier sex education. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I think we heard her well. She says parents and guardians should come in to help from the tender age. Who else can add something to this? Okay, any other question? The absence of more contribution to what she has answered. Any other question? Any contribution? Any past experience that you want to share in order to teach people? There are some people that have not heard some experiences here that you have heard and you want to teach so that others may not fall victim of this menace of premarital sex. Is there any other person that can add something to what our sisters has taught us this evening? Okay? Okay, she's coming up with a question. Clap your hands for her.
Great champions. I would like to add something to what you said. You know, in some situations, we keep saying about teaching children how, about sex education. I'm sorry. She said something now about teaching children how about sex education while they are still young. But there's another thing I want to add. In some situations, some children get the knowledge of sex education very young in area related to, how do I put it now? Like, they were sexually abused. And in such situation, they were so ashamed to maybe speak out in what she was saying. Some people don't have the mind to speak out what they've been through because it's very shameful. So I think in the society like ours, even us as individuals should have this friendly approach to people. People are fighting battles. You don't know what they are fighting. So when you meet someone you don't know, try to be friendly. Because in being friends with somebody you don't know, that person might just feel the need to open up. Because I've been in a situation where I was working in a hotel as a receptionist. A lady came to me and voiced out her relationship trauma to me, just like that, because I was just friendly. And I had to advise her, if you have been in a premarital relationship that failed you, please, the next one, don't try it. It doesn't favor you. See now, you have fucked up, like you have messed up. This one, next one that will come, don't go down this lane. Use another method that will favor you. Try God. So I think in trying to correct this premarital sex, we as individuals should cultivate a friendly approach to people. You might be the angel that person needs at that point to voice out what they've been through years back that they are withholding. So I think somehow people not being able to relate this or trying to speak out, so to say, as she said, might be through trauma of the past, maybe from childhood, due to rape or any other thing that might have happened during the course of time. Thank you.
Wonderful. It's true, she said she was coming up with a question, but at the end of the day, she also taught us something we don't know. She said sometimes that the reason why some people cannot voice out is because of their past experience. As such, they may be shameful.
Let us round up. More
So-
5 minutes. More 5 minutes.
So, do we have any other question or contribution? Okay, come up, sister. You can share your past experience as she did.
Great champions. First champions. Ajụjụ m bụ gịnị mere ụmụ nwoke nwee enyi nwanyị? Nwoke nwee enyi nwanyị. That normally, gịnị mere ụmụ nwoke nwee enyi nwanyị? As in, if they have girlfriend, they will feel like have sex with the girl. And if the girl receives to have sex with, and they will go and look for another person to have sex with. And after using the girl, they will not dump the girl and marry another person. Why is this like that? I said that, why is it that a boy will have a girlfriend and he will ask for sex with the girl and the girl will receive to give him and he will go and look for another person to give the sex? Why is this like that?
Did we get the question? She said, like in a relationship now, a guy will ask a lady for sex in the relationship, and if the girl refuses giving that sex to him, he will run away and go and look for another person. Why is it like that? That's the. I hope I speak your mind. Okay.
Yeah, somebody should attempt the question.
Praise God.
She said I should throw more light to the question, but you raise your hand. The question is this, that at a point a man will come to you that he wants to marry you, but that he wants premarital sex. And when you say no, he will leave you and go and marry another lady. That why? What do we do when we find ourselves in this condition?
Okay.
I think the guy didn't come for love. He's trying to satisfy himself. In this case, that's what the guy came for.
Somebody want to answer it from the
Did you
back.
hear her? Eh?
Champions,
Great,
champions.
great.
Please, my name is Ihoma from Owerri. I want to answer that question. That question, she said, for somebody who asks you for sex, and you love that person and you want to marry that person, you are scared of that person going away. That person is not for you.
Thank you. A round of applause for her.
Champions, we need to tell ourselves the truth. If somebody truly loves you, will not want to have you before marriage.
Thank you.
If somebody likes you, respects you for who you are, will not want to sleep with you before marriage. The person will exercise patience till after marriage. Then I want to answer another question somebody asked at the back there. He said, the question is, if you are shy, if you are not the type that can speak up, a problem shared is a problem half solved. If you have a problem and you are not able to speak up, at least you can trust one person. You can trust one person who you feel that knows something. So you can also ask that person to advise you better. Okay? So once you share a problem, I have experienced something like that before. I was battling with a particular problem, and in fact, I was so much depressed in that problem. But the time I spoke to somebody, I had confidence in somebody, which moved me to speak to that person. As a matter of fact, it was actually has to do with emotions. So when you have a problem emotions. Look for somebody who is advanced, who knows what she or he is doing to advise you better. Not everybody is wise, but people are wise. That's my answer.
Wonderful. Clap hand for her. Somebody gave me a question here. Let's just tackle this. Yeah, there is a question here. Somebody said, what are those signs that you will see in a man that is ready for marriage? What are those signs that you will see in a man that is ready for marriage? Who can attempt the question?
Okay, the speaker wants to answer the question.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
One of the signs you will see in a man who is ready to marry you. Come. This young lady, she's so beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm the young man. I want to marry this girl. And this girl now, she has told me that if I truly want to marry her, that there will be nothing like sex. Because I truly love this girl, and I'm a man who is ready to marry, and I have seen the qualities this girl possesses, and I really want this girl because I'm seeing future with her. Man, what is? Wait now. Because once you people marry, you will continue having sex till you die. You will continue having sex till you do what? Die. So what is the essence of doing it now? After doing it now, when you enter into the marriage, you'll be tired. Both of you, irritation. Huh? Ask one, my brother, Sungguan, and
Champions.
Great.
Champions.
Great.
Champions. Are we great?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me start first of all by saying, ndị Igbo na-atụ ilu na ngwugwu a na-atọ atọ ọ baghị uru imewe gịnị imiwe ya mbọ. If a man truly loves you, you will know. Because the Bible said, by their fruit you shall know them. If you don't know them by their fruit, you have not what? Started. Somebody asks a question. How do you know a man that truly do what? Loves you. If I love you, you will know. 1, trust. If a man loves you, he will trust you. If a man doesn't trust you, there is no what? Love. Understanding. A man that truly loves you, that wants to marry you, must understand you. What causes problem? What causes problem in a marriage or in a relationship is miss. M-I-S-S. Can you ask me how? Do you want to know?
Yes.
If there is misunderstanding in a marriage, that marriage will crash. If there is misinterpretation in a relationship or marriage, that marriage or relationship will do what? Crash. So whenever you are dealing with a man, be wise like serpent and innocent like what? Dove. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir.
How will one fight addiction, e.g., masturbation or watching of porn? So this is just a simple question. If you want to stop something by yourself, you will stop it. Like when I was younger than now, because I'm still young, my prophet would always say at the age of 120, he will still be sharing communion here. And at the age of 80, I will still be a champion because life begins at 40. So when I was much younger, I was in a club. And I'm a normal here. On Sundays, I'm supposed to do my photographic business. We will leave home here, go to Agolo to eat an opo. Take the distance from home here to Agolo, or from home here to Ekulobia. You take the distance just to have fun. But on a very particular day, I come back to my senses. I now ask myself, what gain do I have leaving my business? By then, my business started doing what? Crashing. Because you will dress on Sunday to come to the studio to take photograph, and I will be enjoying somewhere. With which money? The one I had before. I'm not getting again, I'm now spending. I now have to advise myself of what gain do I have to continue fooling myself. On a very particular Sunday, they came for us to go to Omonze to eat bushmeat. I call one of them. If you can give me 50,000 naira from the money we are going to spend to add in my business, I will at least one day declare for all of us to eat. After that, I did not see any of them again. Because of what? I have seen that they want to bring me down so that I will not be their class again. They will now do what? Move forward. So if you want to stop all this, number one, for most of us that has Android phone, delete all those things from your Android phone. Delete it from your Android phone. And all those friends that used to send such thing to you, delete them from your contacts. Because the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. You can't have a friend that's into such a game. You are still interacting with that person and you believe that you will stop it. It's not possible. Go closer to what? God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things will be added unto you. So if you want to stop it, first of all in your mind, tell God in the altar, Lord, I have sinned against you and I want to stop it. Give me the grace to stop it, because on your own you cannot do it. Because it has deepened into your marrow that you cannot stop it. But when you ask for the grace of God and go to a prophet like our prophet for counseling, for proper because there is a spirit behind that thing. And for you to get rid of that spirit, you need a higher hand that will pull you out from that place. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much.
Please, one more question. After this question, we'll just...
Champions, please, I want to ask a question based on what you just said now. That question that you just answered now, there's something I want to ask on it. In my office, a man met me and was telling me how he married the wife.
He said that the wife is a daughter of a pastor, and she is a virgin when he married her. And she don't know anything about sexual intercourse. That what he normally do is sending to her wife that porn videos to watch. I was like, how? I don't understand. We don't make her to know how to start having sex. So I want to ask, in this question you answered now, if you are such a person, maybe your husband maybe is thinking that you don't know how to, as a make him to feel a man on the bed, and he starts sending you such thing, will you reject the videos as your husband, as in the man is your husband, he's coming to marry you?
Please, this question is a two-faced question. Are you... Hello? Has the marriage been established or still on the process?
The marriage, the man has paid the bride price. We are the process of marriage, church wedding. And he was sending those things to the girl. Even after the wedding, he said that he continued sending it to her to be keeping herself busy while he was away. So that when he comes back, he will see differences in her.
In the work, it is possible. Let us be frank. The man is putting himself to danger. The man is harming himself, thinking that he's doing what? Good to himself. And when he will start reaping the fruit, he will start calling the devil. If you feel that your partner is not up and doing the way you want it, why not two of you, if you believe that that is the best way to teach him or her, why not two of you watch it together? You are in Abuja, your wife is in Lagos, and you are sending such a thing to her. What if you send it to her, at a point, she starts feeling you and you are not there? What will be the reaction? So let us not call the devil when the devil is sleeping. Because if the devil wakes up, I mean, you will run and hide on the tree. It will never cover you. So please, let us not try it. It is very, very wrong. Champions, I hope I communicated.
Yes.
So please, we have to retire to our seats for more information and other things before we dismiss.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for having us. May God bless us in Jesus' name.
Please, the guys, you should come back. Let's conclude.
Thank you, Jesus. Ịmara mma Chimo, ịdị ebube, ịdị oke ọnụ ahịa. Mesaya bụ Chineke m, onye m na-efe, riwe otuto n'ibe ọkaka. Ịmara mma Chimo, ịdị ebube, Idigbo ka ọnụ ya Mesaya bụ Chineke m, onye m na-efe iwe otuto n'ime ọkaka. Ịmara mma Chimo ide ịdị oke ọnụahịa Mesaya bụ Chineke onye m na-efe iwe otuto n'ime ọkaka. Ịmara mma Chimo ebube ịdị oke ọnụahịa Mesaya bụ Chineke onye m na-efe
I want to thank every one of us for participating in today's interactive section. And I want to ask if there is any question that was not duly answered in your group and you want to throw it here for more answer. We can just give 2 chances. After that, we'll now... Okay, you can come up.
It is possible. Sir, I want to ask a question. According to our leader, when he was teaching us, he made mention of prayers as the priority, as a number 1 priority before getting married, in search of your spouse. But my question goes like this. You know, not every marriage was prayed before marriage. There are some marriages, you know, they are into relationship. Maybe the girl gets pregnant, and after the pregnancy, the guy will now go for to pay the bride price. You know, from there, both of them will start marrying as husband and wife. So in this case now, when someone finds himself in this shoe, finds himself in such condition, maybe they have been married for a very long time. Maybe the woman gave birth to the first, second, third, and many years to come, you begin to find some fault, and you know, a kind of, yes, you people were in relationship before she get married. After everything, Now, after many years, after she met, gave birth to 3 or 4 kids. Then you look at a kind of place like this. You know, in this life now, life is full of carnalities everywhere. You look at this kind of place, and this kind of place is a spiritual place. And from there, remember that when you marry her, when two of you started, you were carnal then. So when you came in such place, you are not trying to build your spiritual life, to go close to God, so that you know God and God will know you. Now, in this case, when you are trying to force yourself for you to make move, to become spiritual, and your woman who have gave birth to 3 or 4 kids was throwing you back, does it mean that you will leave that woman to further your life? That is my number 1 question. Do you understand my question? Does it mean that you leave that woman who have given birth to up to 3 or 4 kids? Who have given birth to 3 or 4 kids? Now you are seeing her as she is carnal. Then she was not carnal then. Now my question: will you leave because of you want to build your spiritual life to dump that marriage? That is my number 1 question. Number 2 question: my leader, when he was teaching us, he made mention of money. That money is not a priority in marriage. But from my own observation now, I have known that most marriages are building on money. Assuming you see a normal guy who is hustling for his life to make his life better. Maybe he saw a young lady, you know, he approached the lady. First of all, the lady first of all look at what he's putting on. Whether he has cars, whether he's a Yahoo boy, those kind of things. I wanted to ask this question, but they didn't give me a chance, but I want to ask this openly. The lady will not first of all weigh how much gym this guy is wearing. Did he have a wristwatch or a motor, you know, that kind of thing. Now, my question is, why is he like that? And when many young guys who is in this auditorium now, who are willing to marry, but they have not reached where they are. They have not reached where they want to, but they are not where they are yesterday. They are still funding their life. But why is it so? That is my question.
Thank you. I hope we get him clear. Let me start from the second question. The second question is this: why is it that in this period that women always focus on marriage, on money, during the relationship before getting married? But when the person that gave them lecture there was teaching them, he said that money shouldn't be the number 1 thing a lady has to look at before getting married to a guy. But he's now finding out that so many ladies focus their eyes, their mind, their body on money before getting married to a man. I hope that is. Then the first question he asked, maybe a guy and a lady, they are dating. On the process of their dating, the lady took in. The man now decide, okay, let me get married to this lady instead of aborting the baby. And after the baby, the lady must have given birth to 1, 2, 3. Maybe they now understood that they were living worldly life. They decided to seek the face of God. And on the process of seeking the face of God, the man, as the head of the family, is eager to know God more. But the lady is drawing him back. In this situation, will the man divorce the lady or not? I hope this is your question. So, do we have any answer from the floor? Okay. Just 1 minute to do justice to the question.
My name is Chibueze Pascal Jr. When I was trying to educate us on the premise or on the topic about marriage. You know, like I rightly said, we have several factors to look at before we go into marriage. And I said number one key factor is prayer. In an ideal marriage, let me start from the first question you asked, that out of relationship, that you just gave birth to 4 kids with a woman. Now, in an ideal marriage, when I mean ideal marriage, marriage birth undefiled. Before you go into that marriage, you must subscribe to the office of prayer for you to know who your spouse is. When you fail to understand, like I said before, prayer is the fertilizer that fertilizes the ground for you to know whom your spouse is. If you obstruct yourself or remove yourself or doesn't consult the office of prayer, you are going to fail in that marriage. Now, for you to have a blissful marriage, even our prophet, like I said before, he has even gone ahead, looking at what is happening in this contemporary society. A lot of youths are failing in their marriages, jumping in and jumping out, because they fail to understand what marriage is all about. Marriage is not a small kid business. Marriage can mess a grown-up down. Marriage can bring a high flyer down. Any man who goes into a wrong marriage is bound to fail, because you will never have peace. And when you doesn't consult God, who is the omnipresent, he knows the end from the beginning. And how do you consult him? You go to the office of prayer. God, is this really my wife? Before going into that marriage, I don't mean girlfriend and boyfriend relationship. Maybe out of girlfriend and boyfriending, you start having kids. And because you were pressured that if you don't marry him or her, we will kill you. Because of that quest, because of that pressure, you start seeing yourself, or you start going into such marriage. And when you go into such marriage, you never consulted God. Both of you were just into friendship. And anything both of you saw in that friendship, that is the result of what is playing. So, marriage, before going into marriage, you should consult God first in prayer. We have other factors you should look at. Like my prophet will always say, marry somebody who loves what you love. Marry somebody who loves what you love. That is that number one. So in an ideal marriage, I don't mean marriage that, or that marriage out of, both of you were doing boyfriend and girlfriend, you start having kids. You never consulted God. And when you don't consult God, God will turn his back at you. And when God turns his back at you, that means you are gone. Like I told you people there some minutes before now, that you can never have a failed marriage and be successful in life. No matter who you are. Once your marriage crashes, every aspect of your life will crash. And when you see divorce as an alternative, no matter what you do, you will still keep marrying, and yet you will not have peace, because divorce is not the answer. You fail to understand the office of prayer. Then number two, the issue of women looking at money, monetary aspect of marriage is very simple. That is why a lot of marriages are also failing. Because marriage is not built on money first. If you understand what marriage is all about, money is not the main criteria. Money is not the main factor. Money is not what one should look at first before marrying. So both that lady or that man who is looking at the office of money before going into marriage, they don't understand what marriage is all about. Our prophet will always tell us, when you fail to define something, you will not find it. But when you define a particular thing, you will find it. So when you are matured enough to understand what marriage is all about, and you have told yourself convincingly, yes, that I want to marry, you will know the place of prayer and you will consult God for you to be successful. Thank you, and God bless.
Champions, there is a saying that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to do what? Fail. In marriage, money is not the major thing you look at. Money is good. Money answer it. But why getting married to somebody? The number one thing you have to ask yourself, this person I'm getting married to, is he focused? Do that person have a destination where he or she wants to arrive? If that person doesn't have any destination, don't marry. Even if that person is the son of a Buhari, all the money is there, that marriage will do what? Crash. Look at somebody who is going where you are going. If you are from Umuahia going to Aba, and the person is from Abakaleke going to Aba, that means two of you are doing what? Going to the same destination. But if you are from Umuahia, you are going to Aba, and you went and married somebody who is from Ebonyi State, going to Benue, that marriage can never work. That is the answer of the second question. Then the first question, when you don't know God, you were still living in sin, and that marriage produced something, then you decide to continue. Number one, the ones you have lived before. According to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17, he says, behold, all things has passed away. Now you are new what? New creature. From that moment, you start knowing God. Your life will be different. And one thing you have to understand is this. A woman is a package. Like if you buy a biscuit now, you will see inside that sachet of biscuits or carton of biscuits, it has many pieces of biscuit inside it. That is how a woman is. As you progress, you will be picking them with their characters what? One by one. But as the head of the family, you have to do what? Go along with your wife. Not by force. You don't drag her. You let her understand that before you were dwelling in sin, now you have known God. The life won't be the same. When you love your wife, she will be submissive to you. But if you don't love her and you are telling us that you want to take her to God, how can you see God and take your wife to God? Please, you have to let her understand as the man of the house that look at where you people are going to do what? Stay. You are going to commit yourself to God. Let him forgive you the sins of the past and make you a new creature. And when she understands this that way, she must do what? Follow you. I hope the question is answered. Any other person? Okay. We don't have time.
Champions, my name is Miriam Kenneth. I'm here to throw more light in the dangers in premarital sex, carelessness and negligence of duty. Some parents today that have failed in their homes, they neglect the most priority that they ought to tackle, and they will be doing what is not right. Some kids has been abused, they have been tortured due to carelessness and negligence of their parents. When you check some homes today, parents, what they are after, they're interested in their work and their business without checking what is happening in their homes. That is why there's a book I am writing. What I titled that book is Not All Women Are Mothers. Like Freeman Rush, this girl, she was tortured and she was abused by her teacher. And every day she would come back home, she would be feeling somehow. Until the elder sister called her one day and said, "What is wrong with you?" The girl said that she has been abused by her teacher. She called the mommy when she came back from work. She told her that she's not, after that she's busy in her work. Until they tortured and abused her to the extent that the girl had to go to the school and meet the principal. But the principal had to explain everything to the girl, that she's minor, that she cannot listen to her, that she should come with the parents. She called the mother, the parents, and they said they are busy. To the extent that they saw it one day, they had to go to the school. And this thing, the teacher warned her not to tell anybody. If she does that he will kill her. What do you expect her to do? The parents continue asking her, and she refused to tell them exactly what happened. So what did she do? Until one day, the girl now said, with anger, she carelessly, and let me just say abusively, abused the parents. And they now realize that, yes, they have done a mistake. They have made the highest mistake they can do in their lives. And that was how the girl was seriously abused. She will use that thing to grow up. And you see that it will affect her in the future. So what I will advise parents is this, that they should stop chasing shadow and look in their houses and know what is going on. Forget what you're doing, forget your job, forget your business. Try and come back home. Try and see what is happening in your home. Try and do the most priority and leave the rest for God to do. Thank you.
Champions, please let's clap for her. It's not easy. If you think that it is easy, you come out here and you know that it's not easy. Let us clap for her again. I want to thank every one of us that participated in these interactive sessions. Both those that asked questions and those that answered questions, we all thank you. And this night, we are about going to sleep. Please, the order stands. No lady for whatsoever